Whew. Good morning. So sorry I am late. Good morning. Good morning. Let me just gather myself. Goodness. Good morning. Happy Friday. I apologize for being late. Um, every single app that I have had logged me out. So I had to log into everything, the streaming app, Instagram, all the things. So it was, it's like, okay, all right. But I have my coffee here. So let's get started on another coffee with Angel. So today's topic is protecting our hair from the harsh winter weather. I have on a chunky sweater because it's finally chunky sweater weather here in Houston. And for me, that means it's got to be 50, at least in the 50s, if I'm going to put on something this thick. But I love this because it's so cozy. It's just like wearing a comfortable blanket. So that's the topic for today. And on top of being logged out of all of my apps, which is why I was late logging on, then I spilled my coffee. And it was just like, you know what? This is going to be a good session. We're going to have fun today because usually when all the things are just not lining up, that's when we have the most fun. So, good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hey, Cupcake Queen Raven, how are you? How are things in New York? I feel like I woke up to a little bit of New York weather, so I'm loving it, which is why I've got the chunky sweater on. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Margie. Good morning, Nidella. Thank you so much. I'll talk about that later. Nidella sent me a wonderful gift and it came just in time because it's chunky weather season or chunky sweater weather. Thank you guys so much. I was just explaining why I was a little late getting on. All of my apps logged me out, so I had to log back into everything. But today's topic is going to be how to protect our hair from the harsh winter weather. One of the most important things to remember is that our hair is just like our skin. And so we know that during the winter time, sometimes if we're not moisturizing correctly, like our skin will get that tightness. And so you just inherently moisturize your skin more during the winter weather, during the winter months. And we need to do the same for our hair. And the reason is because cooler air is drier air. Even down here on the Gulf Coast, where it feels like it's 100% humidity 365 days a year. Even when the temperatures drop, the humidity drops, and we still have to be aware of how that affects our hair. And it affects our hair just like it affects our skin. Our hair becomes drier. We can get frizziness can increase. And for those of us, depending on your hair texture, you may see an increase in that static, which makes your hair like do this, and because the dry air causes our hair to have increased friction, and that friction causes electrical currents to build up along the hair strands, and they repel each other, and that's why frizzy hair occurs. And wearing wool hats can also increase that. So I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about the things that we need to do to ensure that our hair, and these tips apply really to any type of hair, not just silver and gray hair, but it's particularly important for those of us who have silver and gray hair because we know once our hair stops producing melanin, we can see an increase in dryness, and because that's just a natural effect of the aging process, right? Good morning. Good morning. So I want you guys, if you have questions as I'm dropping in these tips, please drop those questions into the chat. So the first thing that we have to do to make sure that our hair stays moisturized, conditioned, and most importantly, hydrated during winter, we need to level up our conditioning regimen. So if you don't normally use a leave-in conditioner during the colder, drier months, you should be using a leave-in conditioner. If you do use a leave-in conditioner, you need to be increasing or adding deep conditioning to your regimen. And you can do that with the deep conditioner that you already use, or you can use that with a hair mask. The main difference between a deep conditioner or a regular conditioner and a hair mask is that a hair mask has less water and it has more oils or butters, which is why a hair mask typically comes in a jar, right? So that's really the main difference. But if you are using a very, very rich conditioner, then you can use the conditioner as a hair mask. Take a sip of coffee. And as an example, I meant to bring a clear bowl, but I didn't. So I'm just going to have to put this conditioner in my hand. So the Maison 276 is very bright. Number 3 of the Maison 276 three-step system is the Restore Conditioner. And I created this product to be a multi-purpose product. So that is, you can use it as a rinse out, you can use it as a leave-in, and you can also use it as a hair mask because it's really thick. You see that? It's super thick. And so you can use it as a hair mask. And that's how I use it during the winter months. Well, I actually do a hair mask at least once a month during the summer, but during the winter months, I may do it 2 to 3 times a month because the air is just so dry. And you have to pay attention to your hair. Like to feel dry, then that means you need to level up your conditioning and do things to lock in moisture. And one of the key ways you can do that. Oh, okay. I got you, Terry. I'll answer that question in just a minute. One of the key ways you can level up your moisturizing and level up the moisture intake and hydration of your hair is to add heat. Now, this is the same concept that your stylist uses when she puts a plastic cap when you go to salon, when he or she puts a plastic cap on your head and they put you under the dryer. They're infusing that heat because it opens up the hair cuticle and it allows the nutrients that are in that conditioner and the water that's on your hair. It allows those things to get into the hair cuticle. So you're nourishing your hair from the inside out. But one of the things, if you're at home, if you're doing this at home, you can, of course, put a plastic cap on, but I just bought this device from Amazon about a month ago, and I am loving it. It's called a hair steamer, but it's really not it's not a steamer because the cap is not infusing steam in your hair. It's the water that's already in your hair. And so the way I use this, I saturate my hair with the Restore conditioner, add a little of the Revive hair serum, which is an oil, to my scalp. I put on a plastic shower cap, and these actually come with a few. And then this cap is actually also lined in plastic. You put that on your head, and it's a very generous size, and it's powered by electricity. Now, you can do 30, 45-minute, or 60-minute intervals. The first time I did it for 30 minutes, it was so good, y'all. Oh my God. I felt like I was at the spa. So the next time I used it, I put it on for 45. I set the temperature at 8. I tried it lower and it wasn't hot enough, higher and it was too hot, but you can customize that. This is very affordable. It's, I want to say around $40-ish. But you can get the link to that on my YouTube channel. I do a very in-depth tutorial on my YouTube channel on how to infuse moisture and just how to protect your hair from winter. But that is a 10 out of 10. I don't do a lot of product recommendations, but this, I love it. I mean, it feels like spa treatment, and you can just sit down and relax. And I think the last time I used it, I fell asleep. That's how good it was. That's so it's a twofer. It's self care and deep conditioning. It's awesome. So that is what step one, or tip number one for protecting your hair against harsh winter weather, and that is to add heat, increase your conditioning, do a deep conditioning mask, and to infuse heat into your regimen. Okay, so Terry, good morning, Terry. Oh wait, Terry says, "Oh my goodness, I had one of those caps for a long time." Yeah, hot oils were the things, and it still works. Yes, Terry, start using it. Start using it. Good morning, Burner. So, Terry Ann Snow Cox, thank you, is joining us over from Facebook. She had a question: what's something good to put on your hair before blow drying it? Which is also another tip for protecting our hair from winter harshness. But Terry, this is a good question because this is a universal all season long. Whenever you use any type of heat, blow drying, flat iron, curling iron, you need a heat protectant, okay? And this is to protect your hair from, it's to protect those heating tools from drying out your hair with all the moisture and all the goodness that you just put in it. And this is particularly important for everyone, but especially for us silveristas. Okay. The other thing about heat is that if you have a lot of white hair, which you can see I do, you want to use the lowest possible heat setting, because otherwise you're going to burn your hair. Have you ever seen someone with silver hair and they come from the salon and they've got this, beautiful silk press, but their hair is like yellow? It's because the stylist did not adjust the heat for that white hair. Or if you've been flat ironing or curling your hair and you notice that it's yellow, it's because you've got the temperature too high. You are literally burning your hair. So I don't flat iron my hair a lot most of the time. Even when I wear a ponytail, like this is just my hair is washed, restore conditioner as a leave-in, and the Revive serum, which is our repairing hair and scalp serum. So this is typically, how I style it, whether it's in a ponytail or a twist out. On those occasions when I flat iron, I will use a heat protectant. And the one that I've really been loving is the Pattern. It's Tracy Ellis Ross's line, but she has a heat protectant. And because one, it's clear, and I only use clear styling products on my hair because it will discolor it. So that is a heat protectant that I've been using when I flat iron my hair. And I also will use it if I'm going to blow dry it out just a little bit. I will use it for that as well. So I recommend that one. And also, if you go to the YouTube vlog that I did on protecting your hair from harsh winter weather, I have a link to that so you can know exactly which product I'm talking about. So thank you. That was a great question. Great question. Good morning, Veronica over on YouTube and Berna on YouTube. And then Terry says, funny thing, she said she had one of these caps from a long time ago when hot oils were the thing. Hot oil treatments are still good. I mean, the reason they were good back in the day is because they work. Now, if you are a silverista, if you have a lot of silver or white hair, you need to be careful about the color of the oils that you're using, because some of them are very, very yellow, and they're gonna yellow our hair. So some safe oils for us are coconut oil. Coconut oil is clear. There is a clear version of jojoba oil. That's good. The Maison 276 Revive Serum does have a bit of a color tinge to it, but it will not stain your hair, because I wouldn't put anything like that out. So Oh, Berna, on a completely different topic. Berna says she loves my 10 arm exercise. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As we get older, we got to add a little bit more weight to our workout regimen. I always say weights are not my ministry. I just don't like them. But over the last 4 to 5 years, I have implemented just a little bit, 3 pound weights. And then a few years ago, I graduated to 5 pounds. But that's all I do 3 times a week for 10 minutes. Like I can suffer through 10 minutes of arm workouts. And I have a Peloton, and the Peloton also has some 10-minute workouts for it. And that's where I got that inspiration, Burner. But I have two 10-minute arm workouts on my YouTube channel. So if weightlifting is not your ministry, but you want to add a little bit of weight to your workout routine, because we need to do that as we get older. And I'm very proud of my arms. And I did this 10 minutes, 3 times a week with 3 and 5 pound weights. So a little bit will go a long way. Let's go hop on over to good morning. Hey, Bob and Maria, Miss Nisi 01, Tracy Wilkins 1088. Hey, y'all over on Instagram. Thank you guys for hopping in. Today's topic is, if you just hopped in, today's topic is tips for protecting, I'm trying to show it, tips on how to protect your hair from harsh winter weather. And if you're just hopping in, remember all of the Coffee with Angels are recorded, and you can catch today's recording and all of the previous episodes over on my YouTube channel. So tip number 2 on how to protect your hair from harsh winter weather. We actually hit on one of them with Terry's question, and that is reducing the heat on our styling tools and, using a heat protectant. Another thing, oh my goodness, that's the for my cafe au lait, the milk foam. Another thing, for those of you who live in places where it gets like crazy cold, like Chicago and sometimes in New York, you typically will wear hats, right? But because the heat, our body heat leaves through our head, so that's why we gotta wear hats. But the thing about a hat, you gotta be cognizant of how is that hat lined. If it's not lined with a silk, satin, or similar type of fabric, then you need to use a scarf. I thought I had a scarf. I was so preoccupied with anyway, getting my heating cap down here when we went live. So you need to put a scarf on before you put on that wool, felt, or whatever your hat or cap is made of. Because if not, that wool, the felt, whatever the hat is, like, that's gonna dry your hair out. So you need a barrier between your hair and whatever that hat is lined with, if it's not silk, satin, or a similar type of fabric. And it's the same concept as, sleeping with a satin bonnet or sleeping on a satin pillowcase, because certain fibers like cotton and wool and similar types of things, they dry our hair out, and they also cause split ends. So before you put on that amazing hat, and I know a lot of us are into the fedoras. I'm trying to get into the hat thing. But make sure that you cover your hair first with a silk, satin, or some similar type of fabric. Okay. Let's see what else. We got the low heating. We got the deep moisturizing. And the deep moisturizing will actually prevent that static that I talked about earlier in the frizz, because essentially those things are a result of your hair being too dry and not having enough moisture. And then finally, now when I was researching this, as I was coming up on this particular tip, I was like, that's interesting. Oh yeah, Veronica says all of her hats have silk or satin linings. Oh, several off Amazon have, excuse me, Veronica, the girls want to know, okay? We need to know. We need to know. Okay, you're following me on YouTube. I need you to tell me about the hats on Amazon because we need to share. We need to know about the Amazon hats with the silk and satin linings. Because I've just done, actually, I just did an Amazon haul vlog for some faux fashion. Let me tell you, y'all need to check out that vlog. And every single item is $50 or less. I'm trying to keep your coins. Truly, truly shopping on a budget. Shopping on a budget. I protect my hair with, oh, Nidella says she protects her hair going outside with beanies that have a satin lining. See, we know that you got to do it. You got to do it. So the fourth tip, which may come as a surprise to you, the fourth thing that dries our hair out is indoor air. Now, that sounds crazy because if it's cold outside and you're inside, of course, we're going to be inside because that's where the heat is. But that heated air is also dry air. That artificial heated air is very, very dry. So one of the recommendations is actually to have a humidifier to infuse more moisture into the air. Now, I actually do have a humidifier that I've used periodically, if I have an upper respiratory issue, a cold or anything like that. Humidifiers definitely help with combating the coughing, especially at night when we have, a cold or whatever. We tend to cough more at night. And so I had a humidifier for that reason, never realizing that I could also use it for my hair. So the recommendation is to put a humidifier in a room, typically the room where you spend the most time. You don't have to leave it on all day, but just 2 or 3 hours just to infuse a little bit of moisture in the air to offset the dryness of that dry indoor heated air. So that's your bonus tip on keeping your hair moisturized and conditioned and fighting the harsh winter weather's effect on your silver or gray hair. And remember, these tips work for everybody. So if you're just hopping in, we've gone a little bit longer. Oh, yeah, Terry says she has a humidifier in her bedroom for years. Yeah, it really does make a difference, especially if you have any type of respiratory issues, whether it's asthma or you have a temporary situation like a cold. We know it's cold and flu season, so that humidifier can do double, triple duty. Oh, we're going a little bit over, but this has been a great conversation, great topic, because we gotta keep the hair looking fabulous all year long, and that's possible. We just have to know how to modify our hair care regimen based on the weather conditions, because each season there's something we need to address, and infusing more moisture and maintaining that hydration is definitely something we need for the harsh winter months. Now, because it's chunky sweater weather season, it's a tongue twister. I can't get off this call without thanking Nidella. Went to my mailbox yesterday and I was like, oh, I didn't order anything. I didn't really know what it was. Sometimes other brands will send me stuff, but Nidella sent me this wonderful hoodie. Now you can't see it, but it's from her t-shirt collection. This one is a tone on tone, so you have to be close up to see it, but it says, not selfish, just self first. Oh, now you can see it. So it's the same as her t-shirt collection, but now she has hoodies. So this is so awesome. I'm going to tell you, I see myself sitting around the fire pit because I have a fire pit in the backyard. It's got to be a little bit colder than 50 degrees, but on those rare nights when it gets down to 40, maybe 30, I love sitting outside, cozying up, with a blanket. My husband will be drinking his whiskey. I don't really do the whiskey, but I might have a red wine. And like that is just, that's one of my favorite versions of winter self-care. And I'm literally just sitting out there watching the fire pit and just chilling out. Maybe we have some music, maybe we're watching a football game. I don't, but that's one of my favorite things to do in the winter. So Nidella, thank you so much. I cannot wait to wear it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. 47 here. Oh, awesome. Honey, I know it's probably going to be 70 degrees by the middle of the day. I know, Veronica, it doesn't stay cold long. I know. I'm from New Orleans, so hello, homegirl, Veronica. But that's true. It doesn't stay. So that's why when we get that little breeze, we're like excited. I might have to take this off at noon, but I don't care. I'm wearing it now. That's what matters. But I know. I got to go to New York in a few weeks, so I'm super excited about whatever it is I'm gonna get to wear because it's gonna be a little bit chilly, not too much, a little bit chilly. So, okay, guys, I'm gonna put again. If you're just hopping in, you can watch the complete episode. Let's see, on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna My channel is at Angel U Cornelius. The U is for my maiden name because apparently there's somebody on YouTube who has Angel Cornelius, but that's okay. Because if you type in just Angel Cornelius, my YouTube channel will probably come up. But so you can find all of the Coffee with Angels. You can find all of the vlogs that I've done. You guys leave me some comments. I love chit chatting with you in the comment section. And that's actually where I get so much of my content ideas. For instance, I'm a beauty brand founder. I have a hair care line that focuses on silver and gray hair. I didn't know people would be interested in me doing fashion vlogs. And so I started doing fashion vlogs and y'all like it. Like, okay, I like getting dressed up because guess what? I work from home. I don't even get to put on regular clothes that often. So those vlogs have been a lot of fun for me to create. And I'm so glad that you guys like them. But please let me know what other types of content. Like, I can talk about hair all day, 24/7. But I appreciate the fact that you guys let me talk about other stuff too, and that you enjoy it. You're from Georgia, and your husband's from Louisiana. Oh, okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, guys, we've gone a lot. This is my longest Coffee with Angel ever, I think. But I did start late because y'all know I had to, all the platforms logged me out. So, thank you guys so much for joining me. I look forward to this every Friday morning before I get started with, the real work. So thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much over on Instagram. I appreciate you. Hey, Chef Belinda Bishop. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you just hopped on, we were talking about tips for keeping your silver hair healthy, beautiful, soft, and hydrated through the harsh winter months. You can catch the full episode over on YouTube. It'll be uploaded in a few minutes. And you can also check out the full-length vlog that I did where I went into a lot more detail on a lot of the topics that we discussed today. So you guys have an amazing, amazing weekend. I appreciate you so, so much. And I will see you next Friday on Coffee with Angel. Take care. Bye. No, thank you. Thank you.